I did 4 years of my prison time at FCI prisons. So in federal prison for women, there's only 2 security levels. There's an FCI, which is behind a fence, you're locked down, controlled movement, and there's people there serving life. That's an all security or an FCI prison. Then you have a camp or a lower security prison. I did my last 7 months at a camp. So anyway, I self-surrendered in Dublin, California. When I got to the prison, I realized it's like a city. I mean, we have our own education department, we have a library, we have a chapel, and there's several housing units, and they're all separate from each other, and you can't go in anyone else's housing unit. So when you're locked down, you're locked within your housing unit. Usually you can move around within the housing unit except for certain times during the day, or if you get locked down into your cell. But they have bathrooms, they have showers, and you can kind of move around within that unit. And then the units are locked and everything's kind of locked down, except for every hour there's a 10-minute move. So on the 10-minute move, you can go from your housing unit to the chapel or to the kitchen. And there's kind of open movement during the lunchtime and during the dinner time. So that means you can walk to the kitchen and then walk back to your unit. What you can't do is you can't run. You can't run anywhere except for at the rec yard. That would be a big deal. If somebody were running, you would get in trouble. The other thing that you can't do, and they're kind of different prisons are different, but you can't take your shoes off outside. So I remember when I got to Waseca and they had a lawn, and I went outside and took my shoes off and just walked around on the grass, and the officer came out and started yelling at me. The other thing you can't do is you can't lay down outside. You can't lay on a park bench, because I did that too. There was a park bench in the rec yard and I just laid there and an officer walked out and started yelling at me. So I don't think they were like that at Dublin, but I think it's probably a rule for everyone, but some places enforce it and some places don't. The thing that I was so excited to do when I got home was walk barefoot, because I literally had either slides on in the unit or I'd had tennis shoes on for 5 years. And I was really excited to see the stars, because we were always locked down before I could see the stars.